Hey everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Granmommy. You know, I'm always so happy to have you join me, and I love hearing your comments and your feedback, especially that you really like the recipes. I hope you're sharing this. I hope you're subscribing. That really is a wonderful thing if you'll hit subscribe when you're watching these videos on YouTube. And remember, at Granmommy's house, food is all about love and everybody's welcome. So see, that's all about sharing, subscribing, getting it out there so other people can enjoy it. Thank you for being here today. Remember, we're in apple season. Last week we made chunky applesauce. So, building on that, today I'm going to make applesauce cake, and I'm going to use the applesauce that we made last week. So let's get started. What we're going to need today, of course, applesauce, just 3/4 cup of that, but we're going to need flour, cinnamon, yum, see, is it starting to feel like fall? Cinnamon, apples, flour, eggs, vanilla, butter, my favorite, brown sugar, white sugar. So we're going to mix up the cake. It goes into a 9 by 13 pan. And that's a simple way. You don't have to use more than one pan, just pour it all in at once. So let's get started. I am going to start with 1 stick, which equals 1/2 cup of butter. And I've had it out, so it's at room temperature. You want it to be soft when you start mixing it up. I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of white sugar. Today I'm just using my small hand mixer, so I'm going to cream these two together. And here we go. You always want to use a nice deep bowl so you don't splatter everything out. Less mess to clean up, the better, right? Alright, so it's getting to the right stage of being creamed together, the butter and the sugars. What you're going for is not too much grittiness of the sugar. It's like all creaming together. So it has taken me about 5 minutes to get this to the right consistency. So I have that ready now. It's all creamed together. I'm going to add in 2 eggs. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's mix that in. Brown sugar and butter, you know, it's starting to smell good already. Turn this up just a little, mix those eggs in good. It doesn't take too long, but just make sure it's all blended in well. All right. We have creamed together a 1/2 cup or 1 stick of softened butter, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar. Then I just added 2 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I'm going to add in my dry ingredients. In this little cup, I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Blend that in. Now it's smelling really good. Butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon. Yep. Makes you hungry just to think about it. Alright. That's blended in. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of flour. All-purpose flour. And remember, when you're adding flour, start slow so you don't splash it out all over the counter, like I've been known to do a time or two. I hope you're trying out some of the recipes. I'm trying to keep them simple and things that don't take an awful lot of time. I know that everyone is busy. School has started again, and that adds more to the days for you younger moms. But take the time to cook for them and to put some meals together and some special treats like cake or cookies. We all like our desserts. And if you try out some recipes and you have a question on it, feel free to, let me know. I'll be happy to answer it. Or if there's something that you have a recipe or some kind of food you'd like me to make so you can learn how to do it, just let me know. All right, so I've added in the cinnamon, the salt, the baking powder, and the flour. Now comes the applesauce. We are making applesauce cake. So 3/4 cup of applesauce. And 1/2 cup of milk. Just need to stir this in. All right, that's it. I have already sprayed my 9x13 pan. Just going to pour it all in. Applesauce makes cakes really moist. And you can use store-bought, chunky or not, whatever you like. And if you've made your own applesauce like we did last week, you can use that too. Even in cake mixes, you can add applesauce into those sometimes if you just want things to be extra moist. When we get a little later into the fall, I have a wonderful pumpkin cake recipe that's very easy to make, and we'll do that one of these for one of our videos. All right, I've poured in the batter. You can see it's really thick. Just going to spread it around in the pan, get it as evenly as I can. Now, if you like walnuts, you can add a cup of walnuts to this. Since I cook for people of all ages, kids don't always like having nuts in it, so I leave it out. But you can add those in. I have my oven preheated to 350. And I'm going to put this in there I'm going to start, it says 25, we want to bake it 25 to 30 minutes. So depending on how your oven bakes, I'm going to set it for 25 and check it. And you want to check it by putting a toothpick in the middle. If the toothpick comes out clean, then your cake is ready. So let's put this in the oven. All right, we'll check it in 25 minutes. Our cake is out of the oven. It's smelling very good. I have a frosting made up for it, which includes butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar, of course, a little bit of cinnamon, some heavy cream, vanilla flavoring. So I'm going to put that on top of the cake. This is the best part, right? Frosting makes everything taste better. Don't you love fall? Different foods are coming in. The leaves are turning colors. Fall even smells good. Have you noticed? So, fall also means it's harvest time. Have you noticed the big harvest moon? Wow, it was beautiful. And the Bible tells us that the Lord put the moon and the sun and the stars in the sky for signs and seasons. Interesting. He has something to say about everything. So, completing my butter and cream cheese frosting on the apple cake. And remember, I said you could put walnuts in the cake, but I did not, because I have kids, grandkids, and not all of them like the walnuts. So what I'm going to do now that I have frosted the cake is I'm going to put walnuts on half just by sprinkling it into the frosting. So then people who like to have some walnuts with their applesauce cake, they will be able to have that, and those who want it plain can have it their way too. All right. Applesauce cake with butter cream cheese frosting. Half with walnuts and half is plain. Nice and moist. Yummy. So come back. We'll have a couple more apple recipes for you as we take in the Michigan harvest. Remember, at Grandmommy's house, food is all about love and everybody's welcome. See you next time.